Well, yesterday we brought you the story of parents in the US going to extraordinary measures to kick their son out of the family home. The mum and dad turned to the courts to evict their 30-year-old child after he spent 8 years living at home, refusing to do any housework, get a job or contribute to rent. So what are parents' and children's rights here when it comes to the family situation? Simon Creek from HHG Legal is in to answer that very question. Hi, Simon.
Hello.
It's a pretty drastic action, but do we see these issues arising out of adult children moving back or never leaving the family home here?
It's starting to happen. We're seeing this on the rise, mainly because, as we all know, it's getting more and more expensive to get out there and buy your own first home. The law's very different here, and as a result, the process is different, but the social or demographic issue is definitely coming to Australia.
Can parents legally force their children to contribute to rent, and from what age?
Absolutely. Look, up until the age of 18, parents have a responsibility to look after them in all the normal ways. But after that, they've got to chip in, and you either ask them to sign some sort of really informal lease and make them a bit of a tenant, teach them some responsibility with board, or you simply see what happens, as I think really these parents in America did, but then you run the risk that you haven't got a lease, and the only way to get rid of them is through some sort of restraining order.
They left it a bit too long though, because he's 30 now. But all right, what about for children? Do they have any special claim to staying?
They really don't. The Residential Tenancy Act doesn't give them any special basis to stay. Violence or restraining order law generally doesn't make them an exception. At the end of the day, the house is owned by your parents, and if you don't pull your weight, you're out.
So if it gets to that stage, how hard is it to evict an immediate family member who doesn't want to leave?
This is the tricky bit.
Yeah.
If there's an argument that a lease is in existence, either verbal or written, then you've got to go through the process set out in the Residential Tenancies Act, and there's all sorts of eviction notices and notice periods, but ultimately a court will rule in your favour. If there is no lease at all, and they're literally effectively staying somewhere they're no longer welcome, it's a police matter, it's a restraining order matter.
Can it get that far?
It can actually get that far, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous in my opinion.
It is.
But
very embarrassing.
Yeah, very embarrassing. Very fascinating topic indeed. Simon Creek, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
My pleasure.